Hello everybody, appreciate you guys tuning in for another update on the hurricane season 2026. Today is July 7th 2026 and it's roughly 10:16 in the morning. What you guys are seeing here is a chart that I really like to show every once in a while, and basically here what you guys are seeing is, of course, the first thing that stands out is the El Nino. The talk of the century, basically, El Super El Nino. All this area here, it is extremely warm as expected, but I would like to point out something, and that is, if I zoom in the Atlantic, you guys can see that the Atlantic, for the most part, it is warmer than average. So the brighter the color, that means the warmer in comparison to normal temperatures or average temperatures. So where you see blue, it doesn't mean that it's 20 degrees. It means that it is below average. That's why it's shown in blue. The deeper the blue, the cooler, the deeper or the lower the temperature. Same thing goes for the brighter colors such as orange or red. So what does that mean for the 2026 hurricane season? I mean, the expectation is that's still going to be a below average season, especially with how strong El Nino is and continues to intensify. But I'm still not writing it off because we have, as I have shown in previous videos, it doesn't really matter. It only takes one. I mean, perfect example, 1992, very low amount of storms formed, but we had the one storm that basically decimated South Florida, Hurricane Andrew. And again, I'm not saying that we're going to see the same thing, but I'm saying that only takes one. And even if only a handful of storms do form, there's always a possibility that we may have a strong storm. But I wanted to show you guys this chart because, of course, the talk of the century is a super El Nino. 2026 hurricane season in the Atlantic is going to be a bust. Not a whole lot is going to happen. Well, I don't believe that. Yes, conditions overall are suppressed, but I'm not writing it off. And again, if I go to this particular chart that I showed in my previous video yesterday, you guys can see, based on the MJO, we're looking to transition into more favorable conditions as of sometime in August, like second week of August. But let's take a look and see what is occurring. Conditions in the atmosphere, and yes, it's true, and for the majority of the Atlantic and Caribbean, it's actually not favorable, but so is the Pacific. I mean, if I look and kind of show around here where normally the beginning of the Pacific storms are, everything is in red. Now, for the most part, almost the whole Gulf it could support activity, even though it's not expected at the moment. Now let's go ahead and back off a little bit to show you other charts. So let's take a look. Let's actually take a look at what is happening with Super Typhoon. It has an interesting name. Let me see, what is the name again? Bobby. Now the interesting thing about the Super Typhoon, if I zoom in, you guys can see all this pink showing on the bottom here. That means that the storm is intensifying. Yes, the eye is kind of closing in, but that could be an eye wall replacement cycle. That's always possible based on how strong it is, and also how the pink is showing here, which at the beginning of the frame it didn't have any. So that tells you that it is definitely intensifying, and it may be going through an eye wall replacement cycle. So temporarily the storm overall does weaken, but then that wind field is going to expand drastically. So that's basically what the troublesome thing is, or the troublesome thing about this particular hurricane or typhoon. Now let's see, the spaghetti model, of course, is still pointing at a landfall on northern Taiwan, and that's still the expectation there, 900 and potentially 930s. That's very strong, obviously, so that will cause some major issues. Let's see what else I can show you guys. Let's see, let me go back out a little bit. Let's take a look at this particular gives you a pretty good guidance as well. Now the expectation is still that it's going to be that it's going to make landfall in China as well. But let's take a look at the analysis on the ocean. So right now, of course, El Nino, nothing new. It continues to intensify as of July 7th. So that's something that, let's see what the National Hurricane Center says. Same spot, 50% development in the next 7 days. In the Atlantic, nothing is expected to develop. But let's take a look at the forecast models. So let's actually broaden this out a little bit. Now this is a GFS. If we go a little bit past, now it's definitely showing something developing, a hurricane developing in the Pacific. So that's something, and then another back-to-back almost. Again, this is probably going to change in the next run, but it's getting closer to the peak. So it wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Let's go back. Actually, let's show the European. European, basically nothing showing in the Atlantic. Let's actually do a broader view here. Now you see the difference? This one doesn't show anything. Now let's take a look at the Canadian. The Canadian shows a little bit of activity in the Pacific, but nothing in the Atlantic. And then let's take a look at the German model. German model supporting a lot of precipitation in the Pacific, but it's not supporting anything neither on the Atlantic. So with that being said, guys, I just want to jump in real quick, make a brief video, give you guys an update what is happening. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and other than that, have a good day.